Syria's war and the strategic maneuvers of Israel, Turkey, and the U.S. The Syrian Civil War, a complex and tragic conflict, has reshaped the geopolitics of the Middle East. Among its most profound consequences is the perception that Israel has successfully leveraged this turmoil to further its strategic objectives, often characterized as advancing the concept of Greater Israel. This essay examines the hypothesis that Israel has orchestrated this strategy by exploiting Turkey, the U.S., and Syrian rebels, with particular attention to Turkey's evolving role under Recep Tayyip Erdoğan and the implications for global power structures such as BRICS and the U.S. dollar's hegemony. Israel's strategy in the Syrian War. Israel's geopolitical concerns in the region are long-standing, rooted in the doctrine of the Yinon Plan, 1982, which emphasized fragmenting Israel's neighbors into smaller, weaker states to ensure its security and regional dominance. Syria, a linchpin in the Arab resistance against Israel, was a key target for destabilization. The Syrian War provided a fertile ground for implementing such a strategy by igniting sectarian divisions, weakening state institutions, and creating a buffer zone between Israel and its adversaries, particularly Hezbollah and Iran. Israel's involvement in Syria has been subtle but impactful. By fostering alliances with actors like Turkey and the U.S., and covertly supporting rebel groups opposed to the Assad regime, Israel has effectively maintained a hands-off yet highly influential approach to the conflict. This strategy allowed it to weaken its enemies without direct military engagement while consolidating its position in the Golan Heights and neutralizing threats from Iranian-backed forces. Turkey's role and Erdoğan's shift. Turkey's initial involvement in Syria appeared aligned with its national interests, including curbing Kurdish separatism and increasing regional influence under Erdoğan's neo-Ottoman vision. However, Turkey's cooperation with the U.S. and Syrian rebels also served Israeli objectives, whether knowingly or unwittingly. By opening its borders to arms and fighters and engaging in anti-Assad operations, Turkey played a pivotal role in destabilizing Syria. Erdoğan's apparent ideological transformation, starting with the dramatic, one-minute confrontation with Shimon Peres in Davos, 2009, suggested a break from Western and Israeli influence. Yet, skeptics have interpreted this as political theater, designed to boost Erdoğan's credibility among Muslim-majority nations while quietly advancing Israeli and Western agendas. His subsequent policy shifts, including improved relations with Netanyahu and participation in NATO strategies, reinforced the suspicion of duplicity. Erdoğan's position as a mold, akin to Israel's infamous spy Eli Cohen, highlights his effectiveness in maintaining dual loyalties. Where Cohen infiltrated Syrian leadership to aid Israeli intelligence, Erdoğan is argued to have steered Turkish policies to ultimately benefit Israel and the West. His recent estrangement from Russia and cooling ties with BRICS nations signal a return to a pro-Western alignment, likely incentivized by promises of economic rewards, such as oil pipelines and financial support tied to U.S. interests. Implications for Russia, BRICS, and the U.S. dollar. Turkey's shifting alliances have broader geopolitical implications, particularly for its relations with Russia and BRICS. Russia, a key supporter of Assad, relied on Turkish neutrality or cooperation to manage the Syrian conflict and maintain its regional influence. Turkey's apparent pivot back to the U.S. camp undermines Russia's position, jeopardizing its strategic interests in the Middle East and weakening BRICS as a counterweight to Western dominance. This realignment is advantageous for the U.S., both geopolitically and economically. By reasserting its influence over Turkey, the U.S. bolsters NATO cohesion, disrupts BRICS momentum, and secures a partner for controlling energy routes through pipelines that bypass Russian influence. Additionally, a fragmented BRICS reduces threats to the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency, reinforcing its dominance in global markets. The carrot policy and Netanyahu's strategy. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's carrot policy, offering economic incentives in exchange for political cooperation, is a hallmark of Israeli diplomacy. It is plausible that Erdoğan, enticed by promises of financial aid and energy opportunities, has realigned his policies to align with Israeli and American interests. This strategy ensures Israel's regional security and economic benefits while keeping potential adversaries divided and subdued. Conclusion. The Syrian war has been a battleground not only for physical territory but also for geopolitical influence. Israel's strategic use of Turkey, the U.S. and Syrian rebels exemplifies a long-term plan to destabilize adversaries and secure its interests. Erdoğan's transformation from an apparent critic of Israel to a potential ally raises questions about his true loyalties and underscores the complexity of Middle Eastern politics. The consequences of these maneuvers extend beyond the region, affecting global power structures like BRICS and reinforcing the U.S. dollar's supremacy. If Erdoğan indeed serves as a modern-day Eli Cohen, his success lies not in covert infiltration but in his ability to simultaneously serve opposing interests under the guise of nationalism and Islamic solidarity. This duplicity, whether intentional or manipulated, has reshaped Turkey's trajectory and serves as a case study in the interplay of ideology, strategy, and realpolitik in the 21st century.